guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and this is Expedition 3 Pages, and today I am playing Tales from Two Trails for the month of August. I am also going to be spinning for my next two HRCYED prompts this month as well, so stay tuned for that until the end of the video where I do that, and then I will release a HRCYED TBR video where I talk about the two prompts that I spun for and what I'm planning on reading for those. Tales from Two Trails is my TBR game where the aim of the game is to get from the top of the trail, right up here, all the way to the bottom. Depending on what happens during the game, you can end up finishing on the red path or the green path. It's essentially way better for me to end on the green path because if that happens, I get to buy myself a book. But if I finish on the red path, then my partner gets to choose a book for me to read, which is always frightening. We ended the last game on this square of romantasy, so we're quite far down the board just after 2 months already. Every month I roll 6 times, so I get 6 prompts. If I don't read a book during that month, then I have to take a step back. So if I don't read anything, then I have to take 6 steps back, but if I read 4 things, I only have to take 2 steps back, etc. So let me just run through quickly how I did in July, or how I'm doing in July, because it's still quite early. Well, it's not early in the month. It's the 25th of July, so I've still got a few days left. And I do think I'm going to finish one more book before the end of the month. So let me just run through how I did. Okay, so far I have completely finished 2 books. My 2 book club books, which is predictable: Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher and Love by Toni Morrison. I don't think I rated this one for a second time. I've read it before. The first time I listened to this, I rated it 4.25, and I think I would stand by that score again. And I had a lot of fun chatting about this with the people in the Crafting 3 Pages book club. And Love I read for my friends and family book club, and I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it though, and I think on a reread I could rate it higher. Only 2, like last month. However, I am also planning on finishing White Holes before the end of the month. I have started it, barely. You can barely see the dent, but I also found this on audiobook on Spotify, so I'm going to listen to it and read at the same time, and it's only like 2.5 hours, and like I say, it's the 25th of July, so yeah, I'm going to read this by the end of the month. So I'm going to count this as read as well, because I'm determined to read this book. I've wanted to read it for so long, and I've already started it, so it's gonna happen. So sadly that means the other 3 I didn't get to this month, which means I still haven't finished Babel. I truly don't know when I'm gonna actually finish Babel. I don't know, I feel like I've just got out of the zone of it and I just can't get it back. I need to just really give it a go at some point. It does feel like a kind of September-y read, so maybe in September I'll have the urge to read it again. Okay, so let's go to roll number 1. Okay, so we're ready to roll, but first I need to take some steps back. Now, I'm in a position right now where I could totally cheat because I haven't recorded the part of the video that you've already seen. So I could make the decision now and say that I'm not going to read White Holes, you know? So therefore I need to take 4 steps back instead of 3 steps back. Because as you can see, 3 steps is this massive long ladder back up. However, I'm not going to cheat. I already decided that I was going to tell you that I'm probably going to finish White Holes before the end of the month, and that is true. So it's a sad state of affairs, but back I go. Back I go, all the way up this ladder to here. Not a great start, not gonna lie. Maybe this time I should pay attention to where I end up so that this doesn't happen again next month, you know? I should be a bit tactical on how many books I need to finish. I don't have to do this prompt, this is just my new starting position for this round of the game. So let's jump in and go straight to roll number 1. I cannot believe that. 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is read the first book in a series. So in the last clip you saw my moral dilemma of the fact that I knew I was going to tell you that I was going to finish White Holes, but then when I got the board out I realised that meant I would go all the way back up to the red path. And I just couldn't back out at that point because I'd already committed to saying that. So yeah, even though I hadn't filmed it yet, I was good and stuck to it. Anyway, so the first prompt that I got was to read the first book in a series. And so for this, I'm going to use another book club book, which is good because that pretty much guarantees that I'm going to read it. So I'm choosing Hench by Natalie Zena Walshots. This book I've never heard of before. Someone else in the book club, it was their turn to choose and they chose this. But it sounds interesting. You're following a woman who works in the admin department of some criminal gang or something. And then, according to the synopsis, something happens which means she has to leave that job and she is unable to work how she used to. I'm being vague because I feel like the synopsis said quite a lot, so I don't know what's a spoiler. Sometimes synopses do spoil things. But she spends a lot of time online digging around, something about using data to her advantage, and then in the synopsis it says that she ends up working for one of the worst villains on earth. I don't know, it sounds really fun. I'm hoping that I like it, although it does say that there's body horror, which frightens me. I don't know if I want to read that. Okay, time for roll number 2. Another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Kim TBR. Okay, so this is read a book on my TBR. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is to use my HRCYED TBR. Okay, so roll number 2 got me Kim TBR. So I was going to wait till the end of the video and then spin for my next HRCYED prompt and then choose a book from that. But actually, I already have books on my HRCYED TBR that I can use. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of those. And one that I have for the Titular Accounting prompt is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. And so I'm going to put this one on the TBR, I think, because then that will help me get to the ones I've actually planned for, which makes more sense than waiting till the end of the video. This book is all about a woman who is a witch, and she has to be a witch like under the radar because it's not legal where she's from, I think. And then one day she's called up to a big house where she has to teach 3 young witches how to be a witch. And then while she's there, she meets somebody that she may have a bit of a romance with. That's my understanding of the book. So yeah, I'm going to put this one on. I think it's going to be nice to have a little bit more of a light-hearted read in there, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So yeah, this one is going on the list. Okay, let's go for roll number 3. 1. Oh, why did I throw that so far? And this is, I think this is actually read the next book in a series, which is interesting because we got read the first book in a series. Yeah, I just had a check and this one is series continuation. Okay, so roll number 3 got me series continuation, and so for this one, I have decided to read the second book in the An Absolutely Remarkable Thing series by Hank Green. That's not what the series is called, I don't think, but the first book is called An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I still have a tiny bit of this book left at the moment. I had to put it on pause to read other stuff, but I'm almost done with it and I'm so excited to actually find out what happens in the next one. I do have the next one. It's A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour, and this is signed, which is exciting. Signed by Hank Green. In An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, you're following April May as she stumbles across this massive structure of like a robot in the middle of New York in the middle of the night, and she contacts her friend Andy to come and film this big structure because she's like, someone's taken the effort to put this here. She's an art student, so she wants to have an appreciation of this art that someone has put there. It's absolutely huge. She doesn't know how they've done it. So Andy comes, they make a YouTube video together, it goes online and goes absolutely viral, and it's the repercussions of that and the effect that that has on April May in particular, and also what the impact of the big structures has on the rest of the world, because these structures have popped up all over the world. And it's sci-fi and it's really good. It's kind of video gamey in a way. It is video gamey and I'm really enjoying it. And I do remember reading this the first time because this is a reread, and reading the end and wanting to read the second one straight away, but it wasn't out yet. So I really want to get to the second one finally. So yeah, on the TBR is A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour by Hank Green. Okay, so roll number 5. Another 4. What is going on? Oh no, I'm scared of this one. I'm really scared of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is to read a play. We also have the table as well, and if I just scoot this all down. So the table means make food inspired by a book this month. Okay, so roll number 4 got me read a play, and this frightens me for some reason. I'm not really sure why, because they're short. I don't know why it frightens me. I read plays at school, like it's not like I've never read a play, but I don't know. Anyway, I have chosen The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. It feels really famous and it feels like one that would be good to know about. It is a farce, which concerns me because I'm not a massive fan of a farce, but you never know. This is a classic comedy, so I'm hoping that I find it funny and not annoying, because I do find farces annoying sometimes. When I read the synopsis for this one, all it really said was that there are 2 different guys who have told 2 different girls that they're the same person. Not that they're the same person, but that they're both this earnest person, but then neither of them are earnest. and then they all go to a house together, and then chaos ensues. I don't know if that's a really bad explanation, but yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading it because it'll be good to branch out and read something a little bit different. And I managed to get this from the library, and I did see that there's an adaptation, I think it's a film adaptation on the BBC for the next 23 days or something. And there's also some adaptations on YouTube, so I may just have a little look and see what I can find. I also got the icon Make a Food related to a read in the month of August. Now last month I got Make a Drink inspired by a read. Did I do that? No, I didn't, because I completely forgot about it. And I was going to quickly do it, but then I thought, I don't know, I feel like the moment's gone. There was also like no repercussions for if I didn't make the drink. So I felt like there was no incentive to do it. And also I just forgot about it because of that. So I think for this one, I might make a repercussion. So if I don't do the food inspired by a book this month, then I have to move an extra 2 spaces back on the board. That's quite a lot. But I feel like it needs to be big or I won't do it, you know? And I have done prompts like this in the past and I really enjoyed them. So I feel like it's worth doing. And if something's worth doing, then not doing it deserves a punishment. That's my line of thinking. Okay, so time for roll number 5. Another 4. I mean, is there even any point in rolling again right now? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think this is poll. Yeah, so this one is poll pick. Okay, so roll number 5 gave me poll pick. And so on my Discord channel in the general chat, I put up a poll for people to vote on 4 different books for me to read. So I just picked some books that I was really interested in reading. I'll just run through them really quickly. I picked the Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison after reading Love. I want to read another one desperately, so that's that one. I also picked The Last Murder at the End of the Road by Stuart Turton. This is also on my list of books for the titular accounting prompt. I picked Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor, which is the next book club pick for the Crafting 3 Pages book club that I run. I will put any information about the Crafting book club down in the description if you're interested in joining us. Essentially, we read a book and then we spend a sprint of 45 minutes just doing some crafting, and then we share what we've done and things like that. So yeah, really enjoy that book club, and this is our next pick. Finally, I put on the list No Friend to This House by Natalie Haynes. My mum got me this recently for my birthday, so I wanted to read it as soon as possible, basically. And yeah, as it stands, the poll is not over yet, but well and truly in the lead at the moment of filming is Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor. I feel like probably because it's the book club pick. I'm grateful for that because it is the book club pick, so I do need to read it regardless, which means this will be another one that is definitely read, which is great. But I will put up the winner of the poll here, just in case it changes. It could change. I don't think it will, but it could change. Okay, so time for the last roll. Right, let's just take stock and see where I am right now. I'm on the red path still, so what I need to be doing right now is trying to get my butt over to the green path. Can I do it? What do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 4 or 5 will get me over to the green path. And that is what I desperately want right now. Because I'm pretty close to the end, so I don't want to be ending on the red path anytime soon, like next month. Is that another 4? Am I rolling this right? What is going on? Okay, I am going to use the 4, but I just want to roll it again to see if it's actually going to roll anything different. 6. Yep. Oh, but does that mean that I get to go on the green path? 1, 2, 3, 4. Woohoo! Yes! Uh-oh. This might be thriller. Let me just check. Yep, the knife is to read a thriller, and I am a wimp, so I'm not looking forward to that. Okay, so this is a good ending. We're back on the green path again, although we were only here when we started the game. So, in actual fact, we took a massive detour, and we ended up 2 squares ahead. Maybe this wasn't as successful as I thought this was. I thought we moved really far back down the board, and no, we're literally like 2 steps away from where I was last time. Okay, so finally roll number 6 gave me read a thriller. I do not like thrillers, but I do actually already have a library book out of the library, and it is Now You See Us by Barley Kaur Jaswal. And this, when I looked it up on Goodreads, in 2 places it said thriller. It was not the first one. I think the first one may have been mystery, but in 2 different other genre bits it said thriller, so twice is good enough for me. And I'll just read the back because the back is quite small and that's all I really know about it. So it says, Corazon, Angel and Donita have all come to Singapore to work for a living. The thing that unites them, their labour that must remain unseen. But when a friend is accused of murdering her employer, everything changes. Each woman has secrets to keep, yet they must gather every ounce of bravery, fearlessness, and complete audacity to clear the name of one of their own. It sounds thrillery to me. So yeah, I think that sounds really good. I'm very interested to read this and find out if I like it. Yeah, pleased to get a library book off the list as well. Okay, so that is everything from Tales from Two Trails. I cannot believe that I ended up 2 squares after the square I started on. But you know, what can I do? That's just the way the game rolls. But I think I've got some good books on the list this month and I'm really excited to get reading. But it is time to do the HRCYED picks for the prompts this month as well. So this isn't really to add to my August TBR, it's just to plan those prompts in particular. So I'm gonna get my spinner wheel up. Okay, so let's spin and find out. Woo, you can see the light. Food pyramid. Oh, this is a hard one, so I'm glad it's come up early because I have no idea what I'm going to do for food pyramid. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is I must endeavour to acquire these creatures. Okay, that's also a good one because I have no idea really what to do for that. Okay, so I am going to make a video where I talk about what books I've chosen for this, and that will come out soon. But essentially the food pyramid is like this, and you have to pick a book that has, what does it say, choose 5 books with 5 different kinds of foods that would fit into the food pyramid. It does not have to be the official food pyramid, but the spirit of the food pyramid by reading books with different elements of food on the cover. Proteins, fruits, veggies, grains, etc. And there's a list there. I find this one hard. I've got to have a real good think about this one. And then the other prompt that we're concentrating on is I must endeavour to acquire these creatures. Pocket monsters have lots of different types. Read 5 books that personify 5 different types of those little guys you know. It can be a feature on the cover, a word in the title, or the overall vibes of the book. Okay, so that's quite a lot of variety there. And then Q has listed monster types, so bug, electric, fire, grass, ground, dark, fairy. So this is quite vague. So this might be an easier one to kind of build a TBR for than food on the cover. I can't think of any books that have food on the cover. Okay, I'm excited. We shall see what happens in August and how many of these books I get to. So I think the only 2 books I have physically are these 2. And then all the rest are gonna be audiobooks or ebooks. So yeah, this is my very small stack this month, but also, you know, more. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're all having a lovely July and that your reading went well in July, and I will see you in the next one. Take care everyone. Bye. I lied. I also have this one in physical form. I forgot.